Hi, thank you for joining us again for our monthly webinar here as part of the NCS Center. Today we are talking about the highlights of the Energy Norway conference, and I'm filling in for Tina Puntervold, who is ill today, and we will also be joined by Nan Zhang. And we just want to share our experiences from the conference. So, all right, there we go. The conference was quite a success, and we want to also share our experiences and then to also make this a good meeting place for networking, which you can see from these photos. There was a lot of opportunity for one-on-one conversation. And we also want to be sure to thank all of our sponsors who helped make this conference happen. Equinor, Var Energy, Halliburton, Okea, Aker BP, DNO, Wintershall, and SLB. Now, we'd like to talk about the we would like to talk about the workshop, and I'm going to hand it over to Nan for you. So we have technical difficulties, so we're sharing my headset. So hold on just a moment.
Thank you, Lisa. So, first of all, we're going to talk about this first day workshops, and we were hosting our workshop on the 15th of April, and the title is Navigating Challenges and Solutions in Digital Transformation on the NCS. And you can see that our honored hosts are Ying and Randy. And the objective is actually to strengthen the industry and academia collaborations for digital advancement on the NCS. And we have 5 different sessions, and we have many participants, including 18 speakers from 6 companies and 3 different universities, and 120 participants. And you can see our programs listed on the left. And next, we're going to talk about what I have learned as a attendee for this workshop, what I have learned from this workshop and the highlights of this workshop. So what is digital transformation? We'd like to lay a foundation for all of our discussions. So why we need digitalization transformation is actually to achieve the company's strategic goals and to enhance the efficiency in cost and in the value delivered to both of our customers and to our society. And how would we like to realize this digitalization transformation? We'd like to achieve this through reforms or completely revolutionize the company's work processes. And how exactly we're going to do that is actually to systematically integrate our selected digital solutions, such as fast data access, AI, machine learning, automation, and numerical simulations into a flexible IT platform. And talking about our workshop, we like to divide it into 3 different categories, which is aligned with machine learning success required maturity along 3 dimensions. So we'll talk about these challenges and solutions through organizational capability and through data and through technology from these 3 different perspectives. And first of all, we talk about organizational capability, and we talk about the digitalization trend, AI strategy, education, and from industry academia collaboration, these 4 different perspectives. And we have honored speakers from Equinor, Aker BP, and also from our center, Lisa, right? And also from NTNU and UIO, and from North. And Ashley from Equinor had shared her experience and shared her insights about this digitalization trend. In her views that digitalization trends, the demand for for prescriptive and the generative analysis is expected to grow. The aim is to help the engineers to make the right decision in a very short time. And next, Aker BP shared their AI strategy development and their implementation plan. They have identified 3 success factors for any AI projects that are alignment with their strategic goals. That is very, very important. And as the first criteria. And the next is the feasibility assessment. And following that is effective management. And also, Lisa has identified that people skills, we need to develop people skills that prepared for this digitalization transformation. And the top future skills that we need to gain from either engineers' perspective or students' perspective, we need to have the digital literacy, programming, data analysis, and communication skills. But back to the bottom, actually, is a fundamental knowledge for any domain, especially for our subsurface domain. Actually, the physical principles remains essential. This helps our engineers to ask the right questions and also to evaluate the results generated by any digital tools. So that we know that the decisions that we made that are actually, we need to account for that. And based on the talks from the Alexei from NTNU and the Rima from Equinor, we know that industry and academia collaboration remains a challenge, but we identified how to foster this collaboration better so that we can achieve common goals. So first, we need to identify the real questions together and work with the right experts. And we also need to use the real data, and we need to validate our methodologies through real applications. And in order to empower people and empower the engineers and users, we need to develop user-friendly tools that helps to test this to better to adopt these tools, to adopt these innovations in real industry applications. And next, we talk about the data foundation for digitalization transformation. And we talk about it through different 2 perspectives, multi-site data utilization and retrieval augmented generation. And Professor Chun Ming from UAS, he talked about how to effectively use the multi-site data that we can achieve the cross-organization collaboration. Actually, the challenge is the keys are to preserve the data privacy and to ensure seamless access from different organizations. So how to achieve that? He proposed to develop a federated consortium and to manage the workflow use smart contracts. And Jesse Lord from CADME, he discussed how to create trustworthy retrieval augmented generation. Actually, he talked about how to leverage large language models to create accurate, context-enriched responses. And that would be to integrate geological information to enhance the relevance and trustworthiness of the results that's generated by these large language models. And last, we talk about the technology advancement. And you can see that almost all the speakers are from our NCS 2030 Center, and including our sponsors and our partners, Halliburton and SLB. And they talk about this technology advancement through different perspectives, including generative AI, ensemble-based models for reservoir simulations, and physical-informed deep learning for core flooding interpretation and integrated workflows. And so Jun Wang, he is an PhD student from our NCS 2030 Center, and he talked about utilizing the AI agent workflows. So why it is important for our subsurface domain? Because we can use the generative AI in a more interactive and more iterative ways. And the roles of generative AI in digitalization transformation, actually, it relies on two very important perspectives. The first is to effectively utilize the accumulated digital asset, and also to support the decision making by rigorously analyzing data through AI agent workflows. And we also have technical talks from our NCS 2030 researchers. They're talking about multi-fidelity models for realistic reservoir simulations and cross-validation for reservoir simulations and ensemble-based reservoir management, and also the physics-informed deep learning. Very special thanks to them. And at the end, we also have a very interactive session that is a demo session that's presented by our NCS 20 Center and also our sponsors and our partners from SLB and Halliburton. And at the end, we have a very great success icebreaker that we have welcomed all the attendees to our great workshop and our great conference. So next, I think Lisa will talk about the conference.
Okay, so next we talk about the conference days. There was 2 days of conference. On the first day was subsurface opportunities for the future mix, energy mix. So over the 2 days, we had 8 sessions and 1 panel. There were 36 speakers that came from 6 companies, 3 universities, and 5 public entities. So we had a nice variety of speakers. There were 9 master's and PhD presentations. On day 1, there were 144 participants, and on day 2, there were 131. So we thought this was a nice success. We'd like to see even more next year, so we hope that those numbers will increase. The day was open, the Energy Norway, and that should be 2024, was opened by the mayor of Stavanger, Sissel Knutsen Hegdal, and then the Prorector of Research at UIS, Merete Madland. Then we had a summarization from the director, Alejandro Escalona, where he highlighted the research from the past year and the milestones for the years to come. Then we had some entertainment to bring in the day. And the first session was then titled On Our Way to Zero Emissions. And we had Eric Nielsen Rundal from NPD, Elizabeth Kvalheim from OG21, and David Barrett Due from the Ministry of Energy. One of the main questions was, are we on track towards 2030? And from the chart, we can see the where we are now and what the goal is and the projection. So when we are looking towards the zero emission society, we see this information here then from the energy department, and the government aims for stable oil and gas activity while also trying to support and include other industries like CCS, hydrogen, offshore wind, and seabed minerals. So and these R&D focus on technology areas are in alignment with OG21 to help us reduce costs and emissions. And we want to also, the government is also wanting to help with recruitment and efficient innovation systems and technology leadership are important prerequisites. So session 2 was public acceptance and recruitment, and this was focusing on society and students, and we had speakers from Equinor, Simon Leary, Malfred Ronevik from the Offshore Norge, Atle Blomgren from Norse, and myself from the University of Stavanger. And we got some interesting questions, so that was quite nice about what we can do for the future. And then the next session was a subservice towards net zero emission. with speakers Ebhart from Aker BP, Gunnar Jørgensen from Equinor, and Stefan Poto from the IFE. And they had interesting conversations about looking forward for different technologies taking us into the future. Then the panel session was called Pathways and Obstacles for Achieving 2030 Emission Reduction Goals. And in this one, Elizabeth Kvalheim from OG21, also Equinor, was on the panel. Stefania Godarsdottir from the Low Emission Center in Sintef, and Chateau Hjertvik from Wintershall DEA. The first poster session was attended by four PhD students and one master's student. They each had 1 minute to present their research, and they did this in front of everyone, and then they were at their posters. As part of the poster session, there was a poster competition. So they were being evaluated during their speech and then also at their posters. On the second conference day, we focused on scientific talks digging into the subsurface. So the morning started with the first session as the reservoir of the future, and Mojtaba Gadi from the university presented, and then Magnus Vangen from IFE and Thomas Cole from the Karlsruhe Institute of Technology, focusing on different ways that we use the reservoir and how this might be better utilized in the future. And session 2 is towards sustainable hydrocarbon production and the future energy mix. And here we have presentations from Axel Heyer here at the university, Ian Guo from the north, and two students were presenting, Wu Yan and Saeed Ali. They were presenting their presentation that would be part of the for the EAGE conference in the Laurie Dake competition. In session 3, then we focus on the consequences of policies and economic framework. So Christina Hochschild from IFE, Ulla Kvadsheim from the Oil Museum, and Jonas Hamang from the Christiana University College all had different presentations, and it was quite interesting then to hear their perspectives on the panel session about are we going to make the 2030 targets and what that means for 2050. So that was quite an interesting conversation. And then we ended the day looking at asking the students about their perspectives of the future. And we had two students. One was Saeed Ali, he's a master's student, and the other is Salmoy Osterbo, and she is a bachelor's student. And it was quite nice to get their perspectives. So both students here at the University of Stavanger, and they were very frank about their ideas about what's happening now and what happens in the future. And they also had very different perspectives as well, coming from different backgrounds and also different ideas about how they can affect change in the future. So the second poster session was attended by 3 PhD students, 1 master's student, and a visiting researcher. So again, 1 minute pitches, and then they were followed by a poster session. And these were also part of the poster competition. Then there was the conference summary that was given by Lorena Mascaradelli and Leslie James. They're members of the Scientific Advisory Committee, and they were here to see their perspective of the center. And then Chavaland Award, which was a nice award for the students, was then presented to Wu Yan. She's a master's student here in the Energy Reservoir and Earth Sciences. And her poster was Generic Variations in Subsurface Aquifer Models and Their Impact on Simulated Subsurface CO2 Storage. We had impressive musical entertainment by students from the Faculty of Performing Arts at the university. They participated in a couple of different performances for us, both during the conference and during the conference dinner. And of course, thanks to our excellent host, Tora Avon, Skyside, who helps make our transitions between talks very entertaining and takes the time to get to know all of the presenters a little bit beforehand so he can give an appropriate introduction. We gave as a token of appreciation to our speakers and contributors a gift to UNICEF. So these are school in a boxes, and so they help children around the world as part of the Children's Fund then to help with their educational needs. We got really good feedback, so we're really happy. Different kinds of comments that are noted, or it was a nice cross-section between research operators and commercial partners. We were congratulated for a solid conference, and it was great work. Great to see the work that we're doing and our progress that we've made already so far. So we want to thank everyone for attending the Energy Norway 2024 and also for attending this Sum Up webinar that we have. We really appreciate it. We are already planning for the 2025 conference, so follow and keep track of us so that you can attend that as well and tell your colleagues to join. So we had different our partners and observers that we wanted to give attention to. We'd already talked about some of the companies who helped to support it, and then we also have the Norwegian Research Council, the Norwegian Offshore Directorate, and Petoro, who were part of observers, and then our collaborators with IFE, the University of Bergen, and Norse. So there was a nice takeaway message from day one that was heard also at ONS that was repeated by Gunnar Lila, that we don't tear down the old house before we construct a new one. And so we're all hoping that, that we're making progress in that and helping to provide new stability or new options in the energy transition for the future. So that's all that we have today, and I want to thank Nan again for coming and being in this kind of funny setup. And thank you all for attending. And our next webinar is on May the 28th, and we will have a presentation by Mojtaba Gadi, and he will be talking about reservoirs and I think CCUS. So thank you very much.